My name is Emily. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm talking about back to school season. It is one of the best times of the years to start or continuing to sell on Amazon and Walmart. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what is back to school arbitrage, what stores to shop, products that are good for beginner sellers, common mistakes that happen during back to school season, trends that I usually follow and do really well on. Every week I talk about my journey selling on Amazon, Walmart, and multiple other platforms. So make sure you follow along with this channel. I try to make content every Friday going over my journey, updates on Walmart, traveling to events, everything you need to know to start or scale your e-commerce arbitrage journey. So if you've been waiting to sell on Amazon, or I hear from a lot of people who have been on a hiatus and switched to Walmart and now they're looking at going back to Amazon, I love this time of the year and I think this would be a great season to jump into back to school selling. In my mind, back to school season on Amazon marks the beginning of really coming out of summer, obviously, but then you have back to school season followed closely by fall, and you already see Halloween candy in stores, but then just this Q4 journey that goes all the way to Christmas. So this month, August, is really planning for what I need to be doing for the next several months, basically to close out my selling year. One of the biggest reasons why I love the next couple months and seasons and holidays in arbitrage is because they become very merchant friendly. Now, what does that mean? Maybe you are someone who has been sending product FBA for years and never stopped. We love that. Congratulations. But we know that during the next couple months and even starting with back to school, we start fulfilling merchant orders straight to customers because it's just product that is moving too fast. Maybe the demand will slow down by the time it's checked in. And just the opportunity is now. And so I love that new sellers can capitalize on selling products that will sell very quickly. And that really means getting your money back faster. This all lines up really well, especially for new sellers who are investing and you just have a small amount to invest. You start turning that money quicker and quicker. And you really need to be thinking of how are you going to fund Q4 and Christmas. And so if you start really now with back to school, you start creating that snowball where coming into Q4, you have that cash that hopefully is coming in from selling product, shipping out your merchant orders, and then you can scale even more. Back to school season is, I don't want to say easy because there's nothing easy ever about selling, but I do think these products are just really great merchant products. You're thinking notebooks and pencils and glue and everything that just fits really well in a poly mailer. You also get bulk orders from schools, so that also means extra cash for you. You would be surprised not only how well school supplies do merchant and WFS FBA, but also how quickly stores mark this product down. The stuff I'm selling, I'm going to start selling over the next couple months, was actually purchased last year during the markdowns. But I think because we go from back to school to Halloween and those fall seasons so quickly, that back to school product needs to be moved off the shelf. You really do get incredible discounts pretty early. And that stuff is office supplies, continues to sell all year round, even though back to school kids will usually get all new supplies at the beginning of the year. We also have college kids who go back later on in the year or who are going back to classes and need this type of product as well. So office supplies are definitely things that just don't have an off season, even though they are in more demand right now. Before we go any further, I'm going to make sure we're all on the same page. Number one, you need a seller account on Amazon and Walmart. So if you have not applied to do it, go ahead and apply to get started to sell online. Second, you need to make sure you can actually sell these products. You're going to go into your account and click add product and simply put an ASIN or a product name like Crayola, Elmer's, Fiskars, and see what starts coming up. You will see pretty quickly if these products are things you can sell or you need to focus more on getting ungated. Now, I know both platforms, Amazon and Walmart, do have requirements to sell this product. So be sure just before you go to the store and start loading up on things, even if it's on clearance, you can actually sell this product. If you can't, take a step back and look at what you need to get ungated. And before you just start getting ungated, maybe take one more step back and see, do I actually want to sell XYZ? I'm talking about back to school, but I've said it before, back to school encompasses a lot of things, not just pencils. You can sell socks and shoes and clothes, and people are looking at groceries. They're looking at lunch bags and thermoses and a whole array of things, really just giving their kids like a fresh start for the year. So you don't have to sell Crayola to be successful. There are going to be lots of adjacent products selling just well. So I don't want to put the fear out of FOMO, you better go pay a lot of money to get ungated in Crayola, when maybe even you get ungated and you don't really sell Crayola because it's not profitable. So before you jump into the deep end of any of this, yes, there's always money to be made on every brand. You don't need every brand to sell, but I would make a game plan. What do you want to sell? What do you maybe have knowledge about? What can you afford to sell? When you're ready to list stuff on Amazon, you have more of a game plan than just like, let's invest in everything in every category, because the reality is you can make money in a lot of different categories and products on Amazon, but starting with a plan and a game plan and niche into something can really give you some strategy so you just don't feel like you're spinning your wheels. You guys know I do something called retail arbitrage, which is sourcing locally to sell online. And this really started out of my love of shopping and then also just being in Walmart all the time because I have kids and I was always buying groceries. I would find really good discounts and deals and wondered if I could do anything to make some extra money off this product. And the answer is yes. I do have some very strong opinions and tips I want to give you guys to keep your account healthy. And that is, I really only shop from stores that sell new products. I don't shop any liquidation stores to resell their product for several reasons. The biggest one is their receipt is not itemized. So if Amazon or Walmart wants to see documents for the things I'm selling, that stuff isn't really proof. That receipt isn't really proof for what I purchased because it usually just has a random number and it doesn't really point to the actual product I picked up. Also, liquidation stores, think like TJ Maxx, they do commonly sell expired, old, used and returned makeup, things along that line. So it can hurt my account to then resell it. But when you talk about Walmart, Target, CVS, Office Depot, Dollar General, Walgreens, these stores are well known that they only sell new products. The receipts are also itemized with the exact products you purchased. So if you need to show documentation to Amazon, they can really help keep you safe. Now, at the end of the day, nothing is foolproof. You can still get in hot water. You can even with invoices. So make sure everything you purchase, you have a receipt documentation for to show that it was new and purchased in the last 365 days. Now, people will ask me, why don't I just go wholesale? I go to trade shows all the time, and back to school office supplies is something that I really enjoyed selling early on. So I was going to trade shows looking for this same type of product. And early on, I was always surprised that when I would go to shows, the products were like double the price that I would pay at Walmart. Now, obviously, the opportunity is you can buy however many you want. So yes, you're making smaller margins, but you're going to be selling more. But it just still didn't really fit my limited budget time schedule. And so I went back to Walmart because Walmart really does sell products at the best discounts, best prices. You will even find Target running really great deals. Sometimes they'll have like buy $50, get 20 off, or discounts that compete with Walmart, which is surprising because I don't usually source at Target unless it's around Q4 time when they run Target deals around their toys when they give money back. But I'm always surprised that in-store prices are just so much better than wholesale. Now, this is where SellerAmp comes in because I am just not walking around scanning random products, but I am on my computer looking at, for me, what tends to sell well through back to school are bundles, ink, notebooks that are in 4 or 5 different colors, composition notebooks, bundles of pencils and Crayola and color pencils and glue sticks and all the things. I'm on a desktop looking at bundles on Amazon with SellerAmp open. So then I can really break down if I'm buying this product at Target and this product at Walmart and I'm going to sell them both together for this amount of money, how much net profit am I going to make? And then I really decide which listing looks good to me. And I will show you exactly what that looks like here in a second, so you can see a little bit more clearly if you're still confused. My biggest piece of advice for you, if you are new to selling, is sometimes you look at the profit on one listing and you think, oh my God, if I pick up 100 of these in the store, I could make $500 off this whole SKU, make a ton of money. It wasn't that much of an investment, which is another key selling point of back to school and office supplies, is they're usually pretty cheap. Here's the thing, we're all having that same idea, And when you look at Keepa, sometimes the last year's Keepa chart makes you think it's going to just dominate this year. Well, we're all looking at the same chart. We're all putting our money in the same place, and it just tanks out for everybody. So there's no such thing as a sure thing. There's no sure things in Amazon. So take it as, what sort of risk can you afford to make here? I used to look at several SKUs and just decide which one I was going to put all my money into and gamble, see how it went. And now instead I look over several different SKUs and spread my options, my bundles, my inventory out over several products, just to hedge my bets in case one or two don't do as well as I expected and thought they would. At least I'll be making money on different SKUs. You can really look at what happened this year over the SKUs you sent product into, see what happened, then make a plan for the next year based off this information. But every year it changes, evolves, especially as inventory fluctuates in the country. Every year is learning. Every year you learn something new, so just apply it, take it for the next season. Sometimes it is a giant loss. Don't give up. We all have bad purchases that you just have to sell and move on with your life. Listen, if you just dominate and win across the board this year, that's fantastic. Take what you learned and apply it to the next season. I will say I am a seller who asks a lot of questions before I purchase and before I sell a listing. The biggest question is, should I be selling this? There are so many things to sell. It may not seem like that at the beginning, but there really are products everywhere you can sell and make money. So the things that I like to sell are easy to prep, easy to ship out, stuff that I can buy a lot of at one time, stuff where I'm flipping my money at least 100% ROI. I don't really like to do with glass or anything I have to box up or anything breakable or a liquid or a glass or things that are returned a lot, think like clothes. So I ask myself a lot, should I be selling this even if the money is so good? Because I know myself, I tend to buy stuff, and if I don't want to sell it, it ends up sitting here for months before I actually prep it and send it out. I don't want my money caught up in inventory. I just don't want to prep. So I'm always asking myself, should you be selling this? Not only that, how many sellers are on the listing? Is Amazon on the listing? Is the brand on the listing? How many units sell every month? What's my ROI? Is the buy box stable? And on and on. We're continually asking ourselves the same questions on every SKU, making a solid plan over and over. You never outgrow this. And the reason why I'm asking all of these questions is because I made a lot of mistakes by not asking questions, getting caught up in FOMO, throwing everything in the cart, getting home and deciding, hey, I didn't want to sell it, or I couldn't sell it, or I was actually gated, or just it's going to take a lot of time to prep. Asking questions makes my brain slow down and really think a little bit more methodically about the process. And finally, with back to school season, if you're going to invest in merchant, there's a couple things I want you to think about. Getting into shipping a lot of orders, not just how much you need for inventory. Yes, you need money for that initial purchase at Walmart or Target, but you're also going to need poly bags. You might need boxes. And if you are coming from eBay or Poshmark, you think, well, like USPS, UPS has free boxes. Well, those usually are priority mail boxes, and you can't use those for first class or anything under £1. So you're going to be going and buying boxes as well. These are all initial costs that can eat into your profit if you're just not prepared for it. You have a thermal label printer. I cannot imagine shipping merchant without a printer that ships on tape, and I'm cutting everything out. Scale, you're going to need a tape measure. You're also going to need to know that if you start shipping anything hazmat like paints, but I'm not thinking body paints. What am I thinking? Like the Crayola paints, that's considered hazmat, and it's supposed to be shipped a certain way, and you need hazmat labels for that. So before you jump into the deep end, you're going to need some money for the initial products you want to purchase and all of the supplies that go along with that. Back to school season for me isn't just about making money off this current season. It's really the kickoff of starting that snowball, that cash flow for Halloween and then Christmas. And if you're new, it is going to be great merchant practice for Q4. This season can really get you started in good practice for building up your business and having such a successful Q4. Not only do you need to go ahead and download SellerAmp on your phone at your computer, but start sourcing products, understanding margins and what you can actually sell. I would highly recommend joining community. Community is something that is so close to my heart. I have the Crazy Flippin' Mom community. I am live on calls Monday and Friday there where we talk about purchasing, selling, platforms and tools and the highs and the lows of selling. This is a full-time business for me. It is not a side hustle anymore, although I see people doing it as a side hustle and I love that. But it is something I've committed a lot of time and hours into. And I think joining community is how you can get into a safe place, ask questions. It's not something that you learn overnight, but it does take some time, practice, and definitely some money. That kind of fits what you're looking for and the next side hustle and a new way to create income. Back to school season could be the right time to get started. Before we go, I'm going to show you on Amazon what I'm looking at and talking about with bundles when it comes to SellerAmp. So let's talk about these Crayola bundles on Amazon. And here are several listings here that look decent. This is actually an extension from SellerAmp that I love. So when you are scrolling through listings, at the bottom of each listing option, you will have this whole breakdown and be able to see FBA sellers, merchant sellers, ranking. And then if you click this, the SellerAmp extension will open up on the side. So really handy. This says bestseller. I've probably sold under something like this before. And SellerAmp is going to open and you can quickly see this is number 13, 30,000 times a month. So then we have to come over here. If you're going to use Keepa, you can look at there are 92 sellers. So this puppy is tanked out. We have 2 variations. It gives us some IP issues information. Here you can see other sellers and how much inventory they have and their prices. Something worth noting here is sometimes Amazon is out of stock. And so even though they'll be the lowest price, they can't get it to on time. So that's where coming and looking at your competition can be really helpful because you can see actually, even though Amazon is on the listing at $12, the people who can get it there today, tomorrow are at $20. So that will give you a good idea of what to price your actual listing at. There are so many listings like this, not just Crayola. Like I said, notebooks, calculators was a big one for a long time. So this is such a great time. Just start doing research, look at the listings live on Amazon. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. Until next time, bye.